Hey everyone, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays. Welcome to Groove Digital Podcast number 3. I'm here with my partner Mike Filsaime, and look at this, my partner Matt Serralta coming live from Atlanta. A little colder there than it is here in Florida, and yes, we are wearing these ridiculous hats.
Not going to be for long, maybe in a minute. Matt's going to keep his on the whole time.
I drew the short straw.
Yeah, John got the silly one, and we want to look normal, but we wanted to have some fun with you. All right, so we'll take them off.
You take them off.
All right, Merry Christmas, everyone.
But it's still Christmas, and yeah. So this is the first time in our podcast here with that we're doing that we have our partner Matt Serralta here with us as well. So let's talk about the quick agenda that we're going to be doing today. We're going to talk about the year in review. You know, what happened with our year in review. You know, with our launch of GrooveCart last year and what that's done for the company.
Where we're going.
And then our vision. And then we're going to talk about the launch for Groove Pages that's happening now and what happened with our with that launch. There's a marketing lesson there. You definitely don't want to miss out on that because if you think things always go easy for us, then you're greatly mistaken, right? Oh, well, you're John Cornetta and Matt Serralta and Mike Filsaime, you know, Midas touch. That's not the case. There's going to be a lesson in what the military has to understand. You know, be prepared for the worst, adapt and overcome, as my good friend Tom Beal always likes to say. And then finally, we're going to talk about where we're going in 2020. What some of the timelines are, and what some of the the goals are for the software, and where we're going to be, some new brands that we're going to be releasing and such. So why don't we start with you, John?
And what's in it for you? Right?
Yeah. More importantly, what's in it for you?
Yeah.
And it's just really exciting. We see Matt like right underneath. We got a little monitor there with Matt. He's got his GrooveCart shirt. And we're going to be seeing many of you in about 3 weeks on the Marketers Cruise. So, John, take us back in a little bit of history about 2019. How things went there.
All right. So look, so 2019 actually started in 2018, right? And the build up, and you know, we're not going to go back to the original story, right, with me and Matt and bringing Mike over here, but. Let's start with Mike came over to here.
Well, why not? Why not? I bet there's a lot of people. There's some new customers that don't know. Maybe you and Matt can talk about what was going on before you met me.
Sure. So it's January. It's right after New Year's, January 2018, and I'm in Atlanta. And Matt and I had some stuff going on prior to that, and said, "Hey, let's meet face to face for the second time. We met the first time in Tampa, right, Matt, at an event in Tampa, and." I said, let's meet for pizza, and we did, and we started talking about what is currently the Layer app. Ooh. That was basically our conversation, was the Layer app and what GrooveCart is today. And we started talking about it and saying, yeah, let's move forward with this Layer app product, and let's also talk about this our own platform as well. And then at some point during 2018, during the end of 2018, I got a call from Frank Salinas. Mm-hmm. And he said, "Hey man, this company's for sale, and I can't afford it, but it might be something you want to look at."
Nothing to do with Matt or anything we're doing now.
Nothing to do with anything we're doing now. And I went to look at it, and I said, "Yeah, maybe there's something." And I have to go back even further, right? You have to go back to like 2009, 2010, when I first came online, and I said, somebody introduced me, said, "This is Mike Filsaime, but hey, don't worry, you're never even going to meet this guy, right?" And I'm like. Yeah, you're never going to meet him. I'm going to be partners with him one day. So me and Mike had become friends from 2010, Marketers Cruise, on and on. I thought, what perfect timing. I'm going to call Mike. And so I called you up and I said, this is for sale. This is the list that comes with it. And I said, can I call you and tell you about it?
I'll basically tell you what the software was. It was GrooveCell by somebody else that had created it. Yeah, in 2008. It was 12 years old in technology.
Right.
And I had already... had a company like that called Pay.com that I sold because it was time to move on. And this thing, in my opinion, wasn't even at the level of Pay.com.
Right. And then, so during this phone call, I'm running this by Mike, and we're on the phone, and he's in California. And at some point, he stops me and he goes, "John, are you asking me to be your partner in this?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay, let's look at it." And so we looked at it.
We put an offer in.
The
guy accepted.
The offer.
And I got cold feet. I wouldn't even call it cold feet. Yeah, I would call it cold feet, right? That's when you get to the altar and you realize you might be making a wrong decision. Yeah. So I called John back, and there was no part two to this at this time. I said, John, I'd love to partner with you. I've been really excited about this for the last couple of days, but
here's why I can't.
Here's why I can't. I basically, explained that I just didn't want to go backwards. I felt that I was already affiliated with some pretty good software, and if we're going to do something, we'd be better off just rewriting it from scratch.
Yeah. And so at this point, I realized I'm really close to the altar. Okay, I've already sent out the wedding invitations and whatnot. And I was just like, hey, but you know what, Mike? There's something else that I really would like you to take a look at. And at that point, Matt, we had called what is currently GrooveCart. What were we calling it then?
Ultra Fun Shop.
Ultra Fun Shop, yeah. So I said, Matt, I'd like to tell you about Mike Filsaime and why it's real important that we would do something with him. And I said, Mike, let me tell you, we want to take a look at some e-com software, because at that point I kind of transferred 2014 and 15 mostly to e-com. And Mike's like, sure, let's take a look at it. And
so then, Matt, you could pick it up from there. John scheduled a phone call with us.
Skype with Joe too, with Joe Jablonski.
Yeah, Joe Jablonski was on the call, and you demoed the software. And two things went through my mind. I'll just get that part, and then I'll turn it over to you. Number one, I was quite impressed with what the software can do. I was less impressed with the user interface, but that was something that we could fix. That was something like, hey, if we move forward, let's talk about some cool things that we could add and make this easier to use. But man, the thing was really powerful. But there was one problem for Matt, right? He owned 100% of this company at this time, and then came an offer, obviously.
Yeah, on my side, it was kind of like, oh man, Mike didn't look that impressed with the software after our initial meetings. But oh my God, I have the opportunity to partner with John and Mike. What is it I got to do to make this happen, right? And so thanks to a lot of persistence from John, putting us together and drawing a path forward, we were able to make it happen, right? And create this great software now with a lot of input from you guys on how to improve the user interface. And so GrooveCart was born. About a month later, it was fully born with a name, a website, and then we just had to start building it and making it better from there.
Yeah. So if I remember correctly, this call might have been in June, right? In June of 2018, and by July of 2018,
you were in Boca.
I was in Boca with Matt. We signed the papers, we formed the company, we shot the JV video, which only portions of it got used because we were evolving even with our camera setups and different things like that. So we do that in June is the talk, and then the launch was 1 year ago today, December of 2018. GrooveCart takes off, and we get to thousands of users, and then that starts our phase one in terms of launching a brand, and then we continued to develop that. And the year, oh my goodness, it went by real quick. And then what we did is we brought on another partner, Matt Naus, who wanted to be on, but he's from Amsterdam but lives in Thailand. And right now it's probably 1:30 in the morning. Probably Christmas Day for him, so it would have been a little bit tough for him to be here right now, but he wanted to, and he made sure to tell us to let you know he wishes all of you in the Groove Digital Facebook community a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And so Matt, there's a long story behind that, but basically Matt had the ability to bring a different skill that would allow Matt Serralta to continue to focus on GrooveCart and development, and GroovePay, which is where we do our merchant processing and Layer App and all these different things. And Matt Naus came on and helped us build the second division, where they're all going to come back and recircle, and that's all the software in Groove Apps, right? And basically, Groove Apps is going to be renamed Groove Funnels, and Groove Funnels is going to be the brand, and the Groove Funnels will incorporate all of the apps that are in Groove Apps. And Groove Pages will be the page builder for Groove Funnels. Groove Mail will be the email platform for Groove Funnels. Groove Sell will be how you sell your products and do your affiliate program. And of course, Webinar Groove, which I do want to talk to my partners about, changing the name to Groove Webinars. And I'll explain that on another call one day. You can see John doesn't like that. But that's going to do our live and automated webinars. And so when we brought Matt Naus on, many of you know the story. We had a framework that was basically 2 years in development, and he said, that's what everybody else is using. We want to restart this entire project from scratch. And we were like, well, if we lose 2 years of development and we want to get to where we are in 5 months, that's going to take a lot of talent,
money,
and a lot of money. So we did a quote unquote Kickstarter project, raised nearly $1 million for it. And we thought we would have it ready by the end of August for beta, but it wasn't ready until November. And that kind of leads us into our next part of this. And by the way, guys, if you see our eyes moving back and forth, we have about 10 people here for Christmas here at my house. My dad's arriving in a few minutes. John's kids are here playing Fortnite and running by. So if you see our eyes going like this, we're making sure we're giving them, the little, hey, be quiet type of stuff. But back to what we were saying, we decided that we made this foolish decision, that we were going to do a product launch right after we released the software to all the people that backed the project as a launch in beta, which this is what fooled us. We originally did the beta program, or the backer program at $497 for life. And then those people were like, yeah, I backed the project. Look, a new update.
What's next?
Another call. What's next? Because why? They had zero risk. Many of you watching this had zero risk, right?
You're already all in.
You're already all in, excited. They're adding new updates. It's looking really good. And what we didn't think is that, okay, we're going to launch this thing on December 8th. And, that's the important thing. Don't count your chickens until they're hatched. And John knows the many, many calls that we had about projections. And I was like, yeah, you know me, I'm usually the cheerleader. Let's curb our enthusiasm here on this one, because it was a new software that didn't have an internal. GrooveCart had an internal, and we learned from it. And then 3 months later, we did a launch. Here we were jumping right in, and 1 week into this thing, the feedback started coming in, and we realized that the feedback that was coming in was very different than somebody that backed it. Somebody that backed it and paid $497 6 months ago and owns it for life was very, very happy to give feedback, even when they knew they were a beta tester. People that just paid $1 for a 14-day trial and came in as a beta tester, and now we're going to be paying $99 in 14 days, they had an out that we didn't anticipate. This looks really, really cool. But it's in beta, so it looks like it needs about 3 more months. So I'm going to cancel my subscription and come back, right? And that's what we realized. So we pivoted, and we had a phone call. I contacted you and Matt Naus, and we got on a call, and we had a part 1 and a part 2 of this call. The part 1 is, I don't know that it's wise to go through with this, because even if the launch is successful,
people are going to be satisfied, right?
Yeah, successful to the affiliates, right? We're building a continuity business or residual income business. The only way you can do that is by serving customers. And if they're not ready to come back until April, well, then they're going to cancel and quote unquote get one chance to launch this brand. So I'm going to turn it over to John and Matt just right now, just to give some feedback on what that was like to have that discussion. So
it was tough. It's really tough, right? Because you've done some mental math. You kind of think you know where you're going, as far as the company's going, and then poof, it's gone. But you said something, and I disagree a little bit. Like we were, I don't know what word you used, when we were fooled, or we didn't. I forget the word you used, but we really weren't. Like you do the best that you can with the information that you have at the time, and then later you learn something, and you look back and you go, "What a fool was I!" But you really weren't a fool yet, because you didn't have the information. You know what I mean? Like we made what we thought at the time was the best decision, and we were gung ho. No one said it out of the 4 of us. Not really sure here, guys. We're like, we're ready. And then you get new information, and that's the key, is I think smart people get new information and then make new decisions.
Right.
Other people, or some people, get new information and just bury their head and go, I'm going to still stick with this, when you should adapt and improvise and overcome.
That's right, yeah. And and we're going to ask Matt in just a second for what his views were there, but just to comment on that, when you are, when you're in the military, or not that I have that background, but talking to people, and I've met some people that actually did some. It was with Maverick Business Adventures. We went for 3 days. We learned with these special op guys, and they basically taught us about what it was like when they were protecting motorcades and different things about driving in the cars, and how they're looking over here, and if somebody pulls in and they're trapped here, how do we get the asset out? And they're always thinking about these things. What they're thinking is not the way that we think in a launch, how things are going. They're literally thinking every single move, how things can go wrong, right? And that's a good thing for us to know, that as entrepreneurs, we need to make the checklist with all the history of product launches past and knowing how things good. But we believe, if we don't know what can go wrong, we think is good, but you have to prepare and say, we don't have a crystal ball. We have to be prepared for any type of mistake, get that information, and then, as we've been saying, adapt and overcome. So Matt, you come from a world where just last year you said this was the first product launch, and it was very interesting for you. What was it like? What was it like for you to go through this after seeing a successful launch, quote unquote, the Midas touch maybe that the company had, and then to realize, hey, we need to make a pivot?
I think there are two very interesting things that come to mind. Number one thing is, and one factor that you guys didn't mention, but we've been putting more than a year of love into creating that launch, right? From every single button in the software, thinking about everything it's going to do, how our users are going to use it, how cool the software is, right? Some aspect of it is that it's our baby and we love it, and so obviously going to the launch and seeing that we need to readjust is kind of, somewhat of a wake-up call. But one of the greater things I think that's coming up is, one, knowing that we're good partners, we work together, we can readjust, and we do a great team, kind of made it okay, right? Because I knew that was going to be just something that we have to look at, study, and make it better. So while I was a little bit surprised how it unfolded, yet I knew everything was going to be okay the whole time, right? Because we're the four of us, and we know how to adjust and make things move forward. So, and then that's where it gets to part two, right? Part two just becomes fairly incredible. So I'll let you pick back up on that, guys. But a little bit surprising, but being able to adjust the course is the key there, and I think we did that very, very well.
Yeah. So here's the thing, by the way. So right now the launch is we've repivoted, and the launch is a massive success. Smashing success, literally. And we've got light affiliate support, and we're still, doing very, very well. And now we have a top affiliate today, 2 more coming tomorrow, and then, we've got 12 more days left to go on a 14-day launch with new dates. And just a couple of other things. There were prizes on there, right? So you have to know how you can have qualifiers in your launch, and also know when to pull the parachute. Right? Pulling the parachute is when you go to your top 3 affiliates and go, hey, listen, I've paid you a lot of money over the years. I've paid you a lot of prizes. Right now, things aren't going the way that we want, so we're going to pivot. And you have to be able to do that on day 1 or day 2 or day 3 after they've sent maybe 1 or 2 mails.
Right.
You cannot pull your parachute, even if you're above the ground. Right? You still need that point where you have a little bit of room. Like, you can't say, well, we got 10 more feet before the ground, and pull it. That's like pulling your prizes, the day before the end of your launch.
Looks scammy.
Yeah, you can't do that. So we still have the prizes. We had to contact the affiliates and say, give us a week to readjust. So what we did is we had a meeting, and first what we said, and this is good because anybody that's paying is going to be happy to hear this. I said, you know what? Anybody that's paying $1 trial is not going to re-up. Right, so we have to get rid of the $1 trial. And I said, let's keep the $99 a month payment as a decoy, because it worked very, very well with the GrooveCart launch, and then do $497 a year. And then I went over to the whiteboard, which is right over there, and I started drawing out the funnel. Like, these pages got to get made, right? We had to use Groove Pages. And we literally are using Groove Pages and GrooveCell in this launch right now. I'm drawing out the pages, and this is really hard for me to describe. I have an hour talk about this. When I ask people, what is your offer? And the first thing they tell me is what they're selling and what the price is. And I say, oh, no, the offer is so much more than that. And like, you have to literally go through an hour of learning and then say, now do you see what an offer is, for people sometimes to get that. And it's not just your product and your price, right? It's your positioning. And Donna Fox, who is on our team, she struggled on the first part of the launch, and then she's loving writing the copy right now. And she says, I love when the offer is so good, the copy writes itself. And I said, yeah, when you can explain the offer in 30 seconds, as opposed to explaining an offer in 5 minutes, and people go, yeah, but so is it like this and like that? And I've been that myself and asked other people, and sometimes you know you've got something complicated when somebody's saying, oh, so it's kind of like QuickBooks. Well, not like QuickBooks, but more like, and if you ever have a conversation with somebody like that, you better change things up.
And when you can get your original goal, which might be a continuity program, you can get it through another direction, and everyone's 10 times happier than they would have been the first way, which was our case actually. That's when it's like, wow.
Yeah,
because I wasn't there. You weren't selling me, because I'm like, no, because we're missing out on all the continuity, right? And no, just Mike, no. And you're like, no, you're not seeing the whole offer. Yeah, here's the offer.
Yeah, right.
And then when we can circle back, and I'm like, wait,
right.
Oh, okay, great. And so then you have that perfect offer, and you still get what you want.
Yeah, offers involve how you're paying your affiliates, what offer you're going to make to them, what are your upsells, what are your back ends, what's your plan, what's your goal? Is it a today money project? Is it a tomorrow money project where you want to sacrifice maybe some upfront money to get continuity? And we had to play around with all those different variables. And basically what I said to John and Matt, we had agreed on doing a today and a tomorrow money project. The deal was going to be $497 a year. And I got to tell you, that's a great thing. It's been 1 year since GrooveCart launched, and now every single day we're getting payments from last year. It's a very, very good thing. In fact, December, we just brought in several $100,000 from rebills from last year. So I went to John and Matt and I said, we just agreed that we're going to move it from the current part. So the phase 2 was supposed to be $497 a year, and I felt that we still have the same problem. That if a user comes into a beta experience at $497 a year, they can still say, I'm going to cancel and come back when it's out of beta. So what we decided to do was move the launch to April 15th. We're doing now a sprint where we've got all of these things that, what we call the wonkiness of the page builder. And here's just another lesson that we realized. You folks don't want a page builder. You want
business in a box.
You want a business in a box, and I don't mean a biz up. What I'm trying to say is, let's be frank here. The reason why you buy ClickFunnels is because there's a pre-made template that says insert your awesome headline here. You type in how to lose weight in 10 days. You hit publish, and it's done. You don't necessarily want to know that you can build a page from scratch. So when we're launching on April 15th, our team is going to be launching with about 9 different types of funnels: product launch funnels, webinar funnels, book funnels, tripwire funnels,
list building.
Yeah, upsells, all those different things, list building funnels, you name it. Plus pages and more blocks and templates. And we realized that getting somebody in that starts with a blank palette and show them how they can make their own countdown timer is not what people want. People want a list of 15 countdown timers that look like an odometer, one that's red, one that's blue, and just pre-made, add their headlines and publish. So we've set a sprint for what we're going to be doing by April 15th, and we're going to be relaunching Groove Pages at that time with GrooveSell, with Groove Affiliate out of beta, and we're going to be introducing Groove Mail at that time. So it'll be a more complete suite out of beta, with all of your done-for-you templates,
right?
100%. The page builder will not have a single thing that when you add a hyperlink, it changes the color back, and then you've got to reset your color. All those little bugs, half of those things have already been taken care of. So we've decided we want to bring that to the market perfect, not in beta. We're going after a major competitor. There's 3 or 4 major competitors out there, and we want to give you everything that they have already and more. So that left us with the situation, all right, well, what do we do now? Because we have a development team that's costing us over, careful, John.
I know, I've seen the numbers.
Over $50,000 a month, in developers.
And that's not a support team that has to support the developers.
That's right.
It's real support.
And designers.
Right.
3 designers, 4 designers on the team that are making blocks and implementing them and all those different things. And then there's GrooveCart, right? And other partnerships that are working there as well. So it's great that we have a couple of different partners here. We can wear different hats. We can take care of a couple of different things. So what we decided to do then was take that offer from $497 a year and make it $497 for life, right? And then that's Groove Pages. And then after that is, do you want the, just like before, do you want the other projects as an upgrade if they want the entire...
And the backers, you got it all because you were the original backer.
Hey folks, sorry about that abrupt cut. We had somebody calling us downstairs. We wanted to regroup. Okay, so as we were saying, what we realized was that doing the $497 per year still led people to feel that, hey, I'm paying for something that I'm going to have to pay for forever, and I'm not necessarily sure if I want to do anything in beta. So what we decided to do was do $497 for life. Now, what that's done for us in terms of an offer, it changed the offer upside down on its head. It's converting very, very good. And what that allows us to do, as I was saying before, John, our developers are, $50,000, per month, and then we have our other development team. So this allows us to continue at the same level that we're doing, and getting GrooveMail ready, getting GrooveSell out of beta, and being able to launch, gosh, April 15th is 3.5 months away. We're going to come back from the Marketers Cruise in February. The Marketers Cruise isn't just in 3 weeks. We'll be seeing many of you there as well. So the first half, or the first, quarter of 2020, we're going to be really, really proud to be launching GrooveFunnels, which is, as we said earlier, that's going to be the brand, and that will have a complete page builder with all the pre-made funnels and blocks and templates and websites for you. GrooveSell will be out of beta. You will be able to capture your leads. Right now, you can integrate them with 15 or 16 different other platforms out there, but you'll be able to integrate all in one with GrooveMail, and then later in the summer will be Webinar Groove. So that's what we have coming up. But I want to transition away from the the Groove apps and the GrooveFunnels stuff over to some GrooveCart stuff. We haven't given GrooveCart a shout out in a while. It's been a lot of Groove Pages, and we're actually going to have Matt talk about that. We have some pretty cool things coming for you, I believe somewhere around January 15th with GrooveCart. So we're going to give GrooveCart a little love. Matt, go ahead.
Guys, lots of great news with GrooveCart. A lot of cool features are being added to the software that we know you guys are going to love. We're working on a completely separate branch of the software.
Awesome. So let me unpack a little bit of that for you. So folks, if you remember, what we did is we have GrooveCart Studio, right?
Right.
And that's actually how we met Matt Naus as well. And we were going to have... Oh, we're still muted? Okay. Don't worry, Matt. Don't worry, Matt. We're going to pick it right up from here on 3, 2, 1. Absolutely. So let me talk about some of that stuff that Matt just said. It gets me real excited. So number one, as you guys know, we had GrooveCart Studio, right? And GrooveCart Studio was going to be the page builder, and we were going to take GrooveCart Studio and turn it into Groove Pages.
Right.
But then we ended up redoing that as a whole different project. So then we have Groove Pages. What we're going to do with GrooveCart Studio, where we're going to integrate that with GrooveCart, and where we're going to integrate GrooveCart with Groove Pages. So what we've decided to do is take the framework from Groove Pages, and instead of integrating Groove Pages with GrooveCart, we just built our own Groove Pages for GrooveCart directly into GrooveCart. So you're going to see this in a couple of weeks. Basically what's going to happen, all the stuff about designing your current upsell pages and your checkout pages has all been reimagined to work with the same user interface as Groove Pages.
Reimagined, I like
yes,
that.
Yeah,
Especially
exactly.
here in Florida.
Yeah, right. So you're going to log in. You're going to see a completely different interface to build your pages. So basically, the things like your menu will be a component. Your gallery will be a component. And you can do everything you can do with Groove Pages. Will have, and your pages will be pre-made for you. So you'll have your website, your home page, your product listing page, your product checkout page, your upsell page, your thank you page, all these things, and you can customize it. You folks always wanted to customize your thank you page. You'll be able to do these different things, and it's gonna, when I say it's gonna look just like Groove Pages, it's Groove Pages for GrooveCart. So you're not gonna have to go over to Groove Pages, connect it to your GrooveCart store, and integrate. No. Just inside of GrooveCart, you will just go and set your pages up. It's pretty exciting. We're probably going to sneak peek a demo for you sometime, or maybe around, like, let's say, I think January 5th is a Sunday. So I'll say we'll probably get a sneak peek out to you sometime around January 10th. That's a Friday. So Matt, remind me. We'll get a quick little video for everybody, and we'll do a little sneak peek. And then somewhere around January 15th, Matt, is that the goal? What's the goal to release this new this entire new way of controlling the look and feel of your store and your pages and your upsells and everything? What's the goal? All right, well, folks, you know, it's software, and I have the habit sometimes of saying we'll get it to you by January 15th, but I don't have the control over those things. I will ask Matt and the team to try to get it to you before we leave on the Marketers Cruise, because we leave on the 18th, and if we don't get it to you by then, it might mean, you know, February 1st. So we're going to do our best to try to get this out to you before we go on the cruise on January 18th. But I'm not gonna write it in sand. I've learned my lesson a little bit with that. This is software. I'd rather release it right than just get it to you because we made the commitment. I think you guys appreciate that. Some more. Yeah, Matt, they're gonna have all different types of blocks. They're gonna have all different types of blocks, just like group pages. In fact, you're taking the same blocks from group pages, so you'll be able to all that stuff that you were going to be able to do with Groove Cart Studio, like build your store. I'm going to have to create new videos on the front end of the site because there's not going to be Groove Cart Studio anymore. We could still call this Groove Cart Studio, but it's really Groove Pages for Groove Cart, and you're going to be really excited about it. And there's one more thing that we want to talk to you about that's really exciting for Groove Cart. Groove Cart is going to become part of Groove Apps. Number one, we're going to be making it a single sign-on. So when you log into Groove Apps for Groove Pages and Groove Sell, you'll already be logged into your Groove Cart store. That's going to be coming in 2020. But on top of that, this is what we're really excited about, is we have a UI UX designer, and his name is Tomas, and he's created this interface that you're seeing in Groove Apps. And Matt has asked me, he said, Mike, is there any way that we could get Tomas to go in and redo Groove Cart? And when we say redo, so let me tell you how this works. You hand it off to this, I don't even want to say expert, right? A UI UX type of person is almost an artist, right? It's just not about that they're a designer. It's a different level. They're an actual artist that understands the user experience, right? And that's why, you know, you see what an iPad can do, and then you see, you know, how other people used to do different types of interfaces, right? So he's going to look at every single feature of Groove Cart and say, okay, these are products and categories, they go here, and this is, you know, about, you know, your checkout process, and he's going to completely reimagine how the navigation can be. It's going to be all new to me, new to Matt, new to John, new to everybody. He's going to reimagine it, and then he's going to give us basically the mock-ups on how that works. And the beautiful thing is the UI and the UX kit is already developed. So once he does that, it'll probably take us about 14 days to 3 weeks to reskin the entire site. And you're going to log in if you think Shopify looks cool and simple and cool input fields. You've already seen what it looks like in Groove Pages and Groove Sell. So imagine that experience is going to be your new Groove Cart and this new Groove Pages for Groove Cart page builder. That I have to give Matt and his team all the credit for that. Almost, you know, calling it Groove Pages almost takes away from, you know, the fact that they've actually done that from scratch themselves. And Matt, there's some other updates coming too, right? Besides the page builder, I mean, some of the other updates and tweaks and stuff inside Groove Cart. Things are kind of the wish list that we had. If any of that's coming out, not all of it, but if any of it, surveys or the way you can put your names on shirts or any integration, the integration with Shine On, any of that stuff that might be coming also that we're going to roll out one at a time. Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah, very good, and we'll leave some other things for their imagination. So it looks to me like we have an exciting. Yeah, we're probably going to be relaunching and next year Groove Cart probably at the end of the summer. It'll probably be relaunching as, you know, Groove Cart 2020, which is great because it also features the word 2.0 in there. So I can actually, you can see the look of it there. Groove Cart 2020. It's going to appear as a whole new app because the interface is going to work better. We're going to have really beautifully designed surveys, as Matt just said, all this customization type of stuff, and you know, ship offers. Of course, Matt, you know, spoke with them Monday. We're now finally getting to the point where we're going to be able to release the supplements. Matt didn't even talk about a couple of other things that we're doing. We're working now with our vendors. We're setting up the technology through GroovePay to allow them to do the payment processing for you. So you'll be able to send your customers to their place. You don't even have to worry about the merchant account. They'll do the processing for you, kind of like a 2Checkout or a ClickBank. So you don't even have to worry about merchant accounts or anything like that if you want. In fact, we've even found a CBD supplier that will be able to do that as well. On top of that, we're going to be using that same technology for GrooveSell payments. So if you want to sell your digital products, but you don't want to use your own merchant account, you'll be able to let us do the processing, and we'll collect the money and pay you and pay your affiliates. Oh my goodness, are we excited about the new year, So here's the deal. We're going to be on the Marketers Cruise January 18th through the 26th. If you want to join us, there's 2 more cabins left. Go to marketerscruise.com. If you need a merchant account, please go to groovepay.com or call 1-844-GROOVE1 and we'll help you get set up with your merchant account. We haven't even spoken about Groove Ads, which is going to be a partnership we're doing with 2 of these really, really great geniuses that are going to be able to do traffic for your e-commerce and your funnels. They're literally a marketing agency that's going to be Groove Ads. So you're going to, you know, if you got your store done and you want traffic, Groove Ads can help you. We'll do your processing, your digital marketing, your e-commerce, your advertising for you. We're basically setting up everything you need. It's going to be an exciting year. So that's it. I'm gonna wish you guys a Merry Christmas. Let these guys sign out, and then we'll wish you a Happy New Year as well.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and it is also Hanukkah, so Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa,
all of it.
Festivus,
happy whatever
for the rest of us.
Yeah.
All right, Matt, sign us out. Say goodbye. Let's get our hats on, Joe. Oh, boy.
Peace.
Take care, everyone. Have a groovy New Year.
Feliz Navidad.